the Speaker, the Majority Leader, Executive Committee members, ladies and gentlemen, this morning I have just signed the first supplementary budget for the year 2022-2023. We have a very short time in which to actualize majority of the programs. The budget is a budget of 7.608,472,106. This is a budget that has, the supplementary budget has realized what we call a shortfall of about 300 million from what we anticipated in the first budget. This one has been caused by, among other things, one, the cost-cutting measures at National Treasury, which has led to quite a number of reduction in the conditional grants that come through the donors. We have also had to remember last year we actualized the Nyeri Health Fund, which takes away money from the central budget to the hospitals or the institutions themselves, about 300 million. And therefore, this one means we have the reductions that we can now see, despite the money being within the system, that is within the hospital system. It doesn't reflect here because it is really not going to be an earning per se. And so to protect it and to ring fence it, that is why we did the Nyeri Health Fund, so that that fund can continue growing and continue giving services to our people. But some of the highlights is that the biggest chunk of our money, around 2.6 billion, 2.632, 788, 699 goes to health. Once again, health takes the lion's share, because 2.2 billion is going towards the recurrent expenditure, O&M, salaries, and all others, while only we have about 382 million that will go to development. It is important that we continue focusing on health, because a healthy population definitely will create wealth. Looking at our budget, we have a number of, the county assembly itself will have about 835 million to be able to do what they are supposed to do. Sometimes I don't know why people think that the county assembly is supposed to be doing development. They don't. They have only about, I think, 50 million to go towards the maintenance of their offices. Yes, about 52 million is all that goes to that. And so that from their end, we don't expect development. The development comes from our end. And that is why we have distributed all this money. So we will have 2.282, 541, 632 as the amount of money available for development. I want to call upon the executive to ensure that we hit the ground running. It is also important to note that quite a number of projects were ongoing since the budget was passed around June, and since July we have continued to do a number of things. We want to urge that all outstanding projects, all ongoing projects, whether the MCA was thrown out and another one came, we must begin with those ones. We cannot afford to waste public resources because we change our priorities. So I have asked the Department of Finance and all other departments to ensure that all ongoing projects are completed first before we can undertake new projects. That is why you realize that in the Department of Finance we have about 755 million, which will also go towards payment of any other pending bills. So I want to urge all of us to be focused, but key thing we must understand is that we must raise our revenue collection. Our own source revenue must be raised from 700 million, which we have now anticipated, to about 1.2 billion. And therefore, I urge departments We have just almost, I think we are in the process of passing a new finance bill. It must be, we must focus on ensuring that we raise as much own source revenue as possible. And going forward, I think even as counties, we have to work hard to ensure that we have our own source of revenue, as opposed to where we have to continue relying on what we are calling the equitable share. One of the challenges we continue seeing is that a lot of money is left at national government, and we thank President William RUTO, who has promised to unbundle and release all functions that are meant to be done by counties to the counties. Of course, we will ask that those functions, as they are devolved together with the resources. One of them that we are awaiting is the library function, which should be devolved with the requisite funds. It's unfortunate that ECD was devolved with no monies, and we have to look for money. We are also struggling because we know that the VTCs, there was a 2 billion conditional grant that was given to all counties that was I think amalgamated with the equitable share. We are still insisting that one should be brought back so that we are able to do. Thank you very much.
Been having the World Development Fund.
Yes.
Do you have the same in this financial year?
Okay, maybe let's put it this way. And first and foremost, I want to begin by also thanking the Speaker and the leadership of the House for their quick execution of the supplementary budget, the interrogation of the same. I know they are running against time, but if that is how the way they have started is the way we are going to work, I can see Nyeri going very, very far, because there are no encumbrances. On the issue of the World Fund, I want to make it very, very clear, because some people tend to think that that World Fund exists in law. It doesn't. This is our own arrangement between the Assembly and ourselves, and we are going to work in the same way. Nothing has changed. We must focus our development on the word. That is how we shall do it. Whether it is in law or not, our focus shall be on the word. Yes, we shall have county programs, but we will continue developing the wards. We saw the results. Every one of us saw the results when we ensured that every corner of Nyeri was getting a share of its development. We have now about 16 MCAs who came back. 2 are already MPs. I think that tells us that it was a good working model. We should work in the same way. So the only thing we now need to do is ask ourselves, what did we do last time that we don't need to redo? If we did a bridge, did we complete doing all the bridges in that area? We must focus and see what is our drive. But having said that, we must also focus. You have seen what has happened to climate change, and therefore one of the focuses of our budget shall be how do we mitigate upon climate change in everything we do. If we are in doing roads, can we do roads and plant trees? If we are, can we provide water? Because you have seen what has happened. We are already out there calling for food donations. This should not happen to a county like Nyeri. But then it has happened, so we must have that one as our key driver.
Budget for the financial year 2022-2023, as a Speaker of the County Assembly and together with the leadership, we have made the necessary. We have done what you're supposed to do. We said, as I said earlier, is that ours is to complement each other, and as an assembly we scrutinize the budget, and we of course passed it, but of course we had to give members an opportunity to scrutinize the budget and also make their contributions, and that is why we are here today. As we speak today, we're in the process of analyzing the financial, I mean the finance bill. That is our next exercise. And once we are done, we are going to, of course, give members an opportunity to pass and of course make their contributions. We have also invited members of the public to make sure that we give them a chance to make their contributions to the finance bill, and I'm sure that, that we are in the right track. And what I want to say is that we thank His Excellency the Governor, because we have a very good working relationship as a county assembly and also with the county government. And today is a historic moment because we have actually done what you're supposed to do. Kwenda kugati umuthi, as I have said, is that remember that ours is oversight and legislative law. And I say that, of course, ours is to complement each other, but we must continue doing our oversight role. We are not in any way going to be compromised, and ours is just not to rubber stamp what has been brought by the county government. We must scrutinize, we must advise where necessary, and we are here just to ensure that the people of Nyeri County enjoy the services that they are required, because they are taxpayers, just like any other Kenyans. So by virtue of saying that we are working, we have a very good working relationship, it is because we are consulting, the governor is consulting the assembly, and that is why we are here to witness this important occasion of signing the first supplementary budget under my leadership as the Speaker of the County Assembly of Nyeri.
Itogoretio ni Speaker, Mheshimiwa wa Kirigechohe, marina majority leader na chairman wa budget ugwetwo Gibson, Mheshimiwa Gibson wa hinya tondu muthenya wa muthenya twekera thairi budget supplementary budget ito ya mbere ya mwaka wa 2022-2023 iria shiringi bilioni 7 na milioni 680 na ngiri 472 mbeca icio igayanetio bilioni 5 na milioni 325 930 na 447 iguthi uhoro wetagwo recurrent expenditure irehe mishara ciike maundu maria akone gwikira ngari maguta, gwika repair ya ngari na maundu ta mau. Icio nicio iguthie hau, no ni undu wa kuria kana development nikio twatigia milioni 2 bilioni 2 na milioni 282 na shiringi 541 na 632 mbeca icio ciothe ingikiriganio nikio iroka bilioni 7 na milioni 600. Hari mbeca icio mwena wa urigitani niguo twaheana mbeca nyingi muno, twaheana bilioni 2 na milioni 632 788 na 699. Icio ni iria ciageire guthii kuriha mishara na waki na guthondeka mathibitari maitu tondu nitukumitie muno horo wako wa urigitani. So ngiuge kire ingenda kugweta ni ati budget itu ni gwete na shiringi milioni 300 kuma iria twahitukitie ni tondu wa maundu matiganite. Umwe wao wari kugwa president ni araugire budget nyihio na iragituika ni kunyihio, na koguo kuri mbeca citu cia conditional grants kana iria ciuma kuri dona itakinyete na nitugwicikinyira nigetha ihote gukorwo igiuka. No makiria tukwenda kuria department ciothe ciunganie mbeca iria ciagiriire, na twina focus ya kindu gitagwo department ya lands ikare thi icirie ni atie gwika nigetha ihote kungania mbeca iria itonganetie. Ni njue ni gukoretwo kwina ngucanio gatagati ka ene migunda na thirikari, na riu ndirenda kuheana direction njeru ati onako revenue act kana nyamu iria cietagwo spatial plan kana valuation roll uria wothe iroiga no tuige maundu mau mothe nathi tuikare thi twaranirie nigetha andu aitu matwire niki marona kiagirire kurihwo na ithu tumere niki kingirihwo, na twaraniria nitukuhota kukinya handu na tuhote kungania land rates na rents iria ciagiriire, tondu ni uru muno migunda ya andu ikendio nĩ ũndũ wa mathire na tutikwenda gũikara ũguo, koguo nĩ tũgũthondeka na o mwaka ona rĩu nĩ njũĩ nĩ waziri nĩ akũheana kĩndũ gĩtagwo waiver kana kwehererio ma interest na ma penalty nĩgetha andũ mahote kũrĩha. Ũndũ ũrĩa ũngĩ naguo nĩ tũkwenda kũria andũ othe na andũ a Nyeri mamenye rĩrĩa ũrarĩha ushuru, rĩrĩa ũrarĩha kĩrĩa wagĩrĩire kũrĩha, ũkarĩha license, ũkarĩha gũtũmĩra indo cia county na kĩ, mbeca icio twaciona nocio icokaga kũrĩha aruti a wĩra na nocio ciĩkaga ũkũria. Koguo nĩ tũkwenda kũmoria magerie mũno nĩgetha mongerere revenue, na koguo ta staff kana CECs arĩa marĩ gũkũ na executive, andũ othe nĩ makũheo gĩkĩro kĩao nĩgetha mahote kũgeria gũkinya nĩgetha tũhote ku bridge that gap na tũhote gũkorwo na mbeca cia kũigana kũruta wĩra. Asante sana. Ngĩre county assembly tũkũmacokeria ngatho nĩ ũndũ wa gũkorwo nĩ muona bũrũri mũgima no ngũĩ na mbara, anga nako nĩ kũhũranirwo na kũrĩa kũngĩ anga nĩ mathire igoti-inĩ, no county assembly no harĩa kinyanĩtie na ũrĩa tũtwaranĩte. Tũkwenda kũmacokeria ngatho, marahĩtũkirie mawaziri, rĩu twetereire maybe in the next 1 or 2 weeks tũmanengere machibo chief officers, tondũ contract nyingĩ igũthira December. Tũkũria kũngĩkaya gũkĩbatarania special sitting nĩ tũkwaria nao nĩgetha mone kana no mahote gũkĩhĩtũkia ma chiefs nĩgetha budget ĩno ĩhote kũruta wĩra ĩtarĩ ngwamu. No nĩ tũkwenda kũmacokeria ngatho cia mwanya na tũmere o ũrĩa twarutire wĩra na assembly ĩyo ĩngĩ kwaranĩria, rĩrĩa kwagĩa ũndũ andũ magaikara thĩ magacira makaranĩria. Na twĩna mĩaka 2-3 ya kũruta wĩra ũteti ũtanaingĩra bũrũri ũyũ, tondũ mwendeka mũtikende ũteti no ũkũingĩra andũ mambĩrĩrie gwĩtana mĩrura magĩethaga itĩ nĩ ũndũ ta ũrĩa mũkĩũĩ gũthiaga. No twĩna mĩaka a clear 3 years ya gwĩka kuona vision itũ nĩ yakinyanĩra, ũrĩmi nĩ wagĩrĩra, barabara iria ikwamĩte nĩ twathondeka, taũni itũ ngĩrora rĩu na haha kĩanda na harĩa barabara ya Temple Road nĩ ndĩronire nĩ enyenjeku, harĩ handũ hangĩ ndĩronire barabara icio twaciakire mĩaka 4 mĩthiru kana twaciĩkire repair mĩaka 4 mĩthiru, nĩ irabatara gwĩkwo recarpeting nĩgetha tũhote gũthiĩ na mbere. So tukiuga wĩra ũcio ũkĩrĩ mwega na no gũgĩthiĩ na mbere. Asanteni sana. Pending bills gwĩcia twĩna makĩria ma milioni 446 iria tũgũtũmĩra kũrĩha mathirĩ marĩa marĩ kuo na project ongoing. Koguo mau nĩ maũndũ ma gũthiĩ na mbere. Ũhoro wa ward fund nĩ ithuĩ tũmĩtaga ward fund, no ndĩrĩ kuo kĩwatho, no that is neither here nor there. Ithuĩ tũkwenda kũruta wĩra na nĩ tũteithĩtie tũkahota kũruta wĩra nginya hau tũkinyĩte, tũgakorwo tũkĩruta wĩra tũkĩiguanaga tũtakũhũrana na tũkauga ta executive ithuĩ tũroretie ũkũria witũ ward. Koguo ward nĩ ĩrĩ mwene, ithuĩ tũgĩtwara ũkũria witũ ward nĩ tũhĩtũkagĩra kwa mwene tũgakĩruta wĩra hamwe, kana tiguo? Ndĩrauga ũguo nĩ tondũ ndĩraiguire MCA angĩ anagũkũ na ti a Nyeri akũndũ kũngĩ maratha ndambu makiuga nĩ magũthiĩ igoti-inĩ atĩ nĩ maimĩtwo ward fund. Ndĩrĩ kuo, doesn't exist. No twoiga atĩrĩ tũgĩthiĩ kwa Dedan Kĩmathi-rĩ, tondũ nĩkuo tũrenda gwĩka focus ya development-rĩ, tũkahĩtũkĩra wabici ya MCA tũgĩthiĩ kuo tũkĩmũgeithagia. Kũu kwĩna mahĩtia
tondũ wa kũrora kana witness governor wa Nyeri County agisign the first supplementary budget ya financial year 2022-2023 na hana ta speaker wa county assembly ya Nyeri ndĩrenda kuga atĩ nĩ tũrutĩte wĩra ũrĩa wagĩrĩire. Augire wĩra witũ tũkũreherwo kĩndũ na kũhũra mũhũri, no nĩ tũkarora ũrĩa kĩrĩa twareherwo kĩagĩrĩire, tũkarora tũkahe members tondũ nĩo maitho ma Nyeri makarora maũndũ mothe. Noguo nĩguo tũrekire finance kĩrĩa bill rĩu nĩyo tũrathiĩ na mbere na kũmĩrora, na budget ĩno rĩya yokire kũrĩa bunge twamĩthire kamĩtĩ-inĩ ya budget ĩrĩa ĩtongorio nĩ chairman wa hinya, na members nĩ marakĩmĩrorire na njĩra ĩrĩa yagĩrĩire na tũramĩhĩtũkia tondũ tũrenda Nyeri itũ ĩkũre na tũrenda gũcokeria governor ngatho nĩ tondũ nĩ tĩkĩrĩte kũrutithania wĩra na assembly ya Nyeri, tondũ ithuothe twĩ haha ũguo. Ũndũ ũrĩa bata mũno tũrenda nĩ kũ make sure atĩ county ya Nyeri nĩ yakũra harĩa ĩrakinyĩtio mwaka ũcio ũrarĩho mĩaka 5 rĩu nĩ gũthiĩ na mbere ikore na njira ĩrĩa yagĩrĩire, na nĩ gwenda kuga atĩ hana ta speaker na leadership ĩrĩa ĩrĩ haha twĩna majority na chairman wa budget na arĩa angĩ othe tũkũnyitanĩra na county na thirikari ya county to make sure atĩ Nyeri itũ nĩ yakũra na njĩra ĩrĩa yagĩrĩire. Na thengiũ mũno.
Unataka kufanya nini yodo?
Nataka ku expand business, nitaweka gari nyingine.
Oh, sasa bro, acha nikueleze. Kuna app inaitwa VIP. Unaona sasa, ukiwa na hii app, ni app yenye inakusaidia kumanage busy yako. Sasa wewe kama msee wa taxi, ukimanage transactions zako through VIP for the next 3 months, unaweza get access to loan.
Alright.
Na pia kulingana na design yenye unakopa na unalipa hiyo loan, wanaweza kupatia pia access to a better handsome amount ya loan. Unanipata ndugu yangu?
Nakupata. Hiyo kwanza iko verified.
Kabisa. Sasa download VIP leo na expand business yako in the next 3 months, au sio?
Kabisa bana, hata niweke sahi.